Today on Monkey Life, Alison's in Yorkshire linking up with the RSPCA and the police to rescue a Capuchin living in poor conditions.
This needs to be done, but it's never easy when people are getting upset. I'll have to see how this plays out.
Orphaned orangutan Hujan tells foster mum Roro it's time to come in for his milk feed.
Good boy, Huge. It's done. Boom. Good boy.
And Ruby's babies brave the outdoor enclosure. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. A team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Hey, missus. Benny and Nia. Oh, there's a little boy.
The park provides a home for more than 260 monkeys and apes from 24 different species. It's early morning in the north of England. Alison has travelled through the night to West Yorkshire on a rescue mission. She was contacted by the RSPCA following information from a concerned member of the public about a monkey living in inappropriate conditions.
I've been told about a single Capuchin monkey that lives in a cage attached to the side of a house in a very exposed, cold place. As far as the RSPCA are concerned, it doesn't appear that the Capuchin monkey, which I've identified, has any heat and is living outside all on its own. And in a few minutes, I'll be meeting up with the police and RSPCA, and we'll go and certainly inspect the Capuchin and its environment with the consideration of whether or not we confiscate.
It's a scenario that, unfortunately, is becoming all too common in the UK.
There's still a legal trade in keeping primates as pets in Britain, and it's a real problem because most people don't know what they're doing, and the monkeys suffer, and the breeders and dealers keep selling these animals, telling people they can just keep them in garden sheds or in bird cages and that they'll be fine, but that's the furthest from the truth.
The RSPCA officer, Kim, arrives at the meeting point near the house. Alison has worked with her before.
Hi, how are you going? Yeah, it's been a while.
Kim has been to the house and tried to make contact with the owner, to no avail.
This construction is attached to the side of the house.
Okay.
And it's been there a while because the algae that's on there.
The RSPCA are so concerned about the monkey's welfare, they've asked the police to assist. Alison and Kim are hoping they'll bring a warrant to enter the premises and inspect the monkey.
Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
You too. Nice to meet you, Gemma.
The officers arrive with good news.
We have the warrant, that's all done, and now we'll head over to the house and see if we can find anybody to let us into the cage, because it is padlocked. So we'll either have to cut it open or deal with it somehow, but we'll have to find out if the owner's about and what's going to happen. So this is where it starts getting interesting.
It's a short journey to the house where the Capuchin is being kept. The cage is joined to the outside of the house, open to the elements apart from a small section covered in plastic sheeting. Alison has to wait for the police to execute their warrant before she can enter the cage to get a good look at the Capuchin's condition.
This needs to be done, but it's never easy when, people are getting upset. So I'll have to see how this plays out.
Alison knows all too well that some owners can be well-meaning, but without the knowledge or expertise to give the animal the appropriate care. There is another issue. Capuchins are classed as dangerous wild animals. To own one, you need a license, and this owner doesn't have one. It's a waiting game until the police can give Alison the all-clear to rescue the monkey. It's been 5 months since the park's youngest orangutan arrived in Dorset from Krefeld Zoo in Germany. 2-year-old Hujan has settled wonderfully into life in Tuan's group and is now a fully integrated member, with adopted mum Roro as his constant companion and chaperone.
Roro has been absolutely awesome, better than expected, considering the fact that she had 2 of her own that she didn't look after back in the day. Yeah, they've really hit it off, and she's been a proper foster mother with him, really caring for him and really just making sure that he's okay throughout the day, which is fantastic for us.
Roro has relished taking on the maternal duties. She's never too far away and always ready to give a helping hand if needed. Hujan's presence in the group has also given Roro a lot more confidence too. Previously, she was a quiet, slightly reclusive orangutan, but these days she's more self-assured around the others. The youngster has also brought out her playful side with everyone. Hujan is getting stronger and stronger, and eventually there'll come a time when he won't need his adopted mum quite so much. His climbing skills are already amazing. He can scale most of the enclosure, and he's clearly got a head for heights. He's encouraged by his new firm friend and playmate, 7-year-old Awan. She's a bundle of energy, and the two spend hours in each other's company playing and having fun.
Come on, Roro! Come on, Hujan!
The team are pleased Hujan is at home in the big enclosure, but they also need to ensure he'll come back in when needed. To persuade him, he has daily milk feeds indoors. When the youngster and his foster mum head inside, the rest of the group are given an outside scatter feed, so no one feels like they're missing out.
We've been developing a little bit of a regime with him now, so he's coming up to the house midday to have that milk. Gives him a good reward for coming into the house, getting him to know his routine properly throughout the day, if you like, of where he can be and what he can do. And then he goes back out again, and then he'll do the same sort of about 4 o'clock-ish, as I say, to come back in for his PM milk. So 3 milks a day, and then all the fresh fruit and vegetables and leaf feeds as well. We're doing a lot of browse at the moment, being the summer months, so he's really enjoying eating that with the other guys as well.
But today, Roro fancies a nibble of the scatter feed first, and it's up to Hujan to lead the way. By the time they make it indoors, the rest of the group are there as well.
It's okay. All big and scary. Lots of new people in the house. Eh? You're a big boy now, though.
The daunting 80-kilogram bulk of Tuan nearby doesn't faze Hujan in the slightest.
Good boy, Huge. Oh, brave boy.
2-year-old Hujan is a real character, and it's clear he feels right at home with his new family at the park.
Done. Boom. Good boy.
Back in West Yorkshire, Alison is waiting for the green light from the police to rescue a Capuchin monkey living in an outdoor cage in the owner's backyard.
It would be good to know if she would be helpful, like to learn something about the monkey. Its name, how old it is, where she got it from.
That's it.
The police have served a warrant to enter the premises and are inside the house talking to the owner.
The lady doesn't want to sign over her monkey willingly. She's stating that she's got licenses. We're not sure whether that's the case or not because nothing's come up on the police records, at least at this point in time. So I'm just in holding pattern, trying to make sure that I don't upset or make matters more fractious or difficult, but it's clear to me that the monkey needs good and professional care.
Should we eat worms together?
Alison has had a chance to interact with the monkey and take a look through the mesh at its living conditions. She's concerned at what she's seen.
It's not good. I'm trying to see if it's a little boy or a little girl. Haven't really gotten a look in between the legs. The back end's a bit seized up. There's a rotten melon on the floor and stagnant water. On top of that shed is just a world of filth and muck.
That's really not very nice. Her skin appears very thickened and a bit angry. So no, it's not a good or healthy circumstance for this monkey. She needs company and she needs good, clean health care. And I would say that she should also probably have a vet check to be looking at that skin of hers.
Look. I know.
A closer inspection gives Alison the opportunity to determine the Capuchin's sex.
Would you like another one, huh? Are you a good girl? I think you are a girl.
She's 99% certain it's female. Now she's keen to get inside the cage. It's open to the elements, which means the monkey may not have had much shelter or heating throughout the winter months. Alison doesn't have to wait much longer.
The police are happy to see you and you do what you need to do.
The police have given Alison the go-ahead to confiscate the Capuchin on welfare grounds.
The RSPCA are very clear that they want the monkey seized regardless of licenses or paperwork on a welfare confiscation. So I've been given the all clear.
Now it's a case of trying to persuade the lonely female down to the ground where Alison can grab her safely and get her into the travel box.
Look at this. Oh.
Easier said than done.
It's okay. You're a good girl.
Don't want to have to net her, but she thought about coming down and looking at the box.
You want this?
Tried it the nice way, yeah, for about half an hour. And at this point, I think we probably just need to get on with it.
Hey, little girl.
It's time for Plan B. Alan brings in the net.
Oh, I know you're very upset now.
The Capuchin is backed into a corner and forced down to the ground.
Down, keep her down. Quickly. I can't keep her in, get her in. Okay. Got it. Yeah, totally fine.
Job done.
That was actually not too bad. Frightened her down to the ground with the net, grabbed her in the box quick. It's often easier to do it that way, but now let's just check this place over, make sure that RSPCA get all of the information that they need to make sure that this doesn't continue, because this isn't right.
The RSPCA inspectors take photographic evidence of the Capuchin's living conditions.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah. No doubt we'll see each other again.
Yeah, please come down anytime.
Now it's time to head back to Dorset and a new home and future for one fortunate Capuchin. With so many primates living at the park, the primate care staff are kept busy working to maintain the health and well-being of each one. During the colder winter months, this can be a tough task. The apes in particular are prone to catching viruses, such as the common cold, just like us. Chimpanzees are so closely related to humans that minor ailments can transfer from one species to the other.
Because chimps live in a large group of very social animals, they spend a lot of time grooming with each other, socialising with each other. You've obviously got the infants that sleep with mums. They have best friends, they'll be off playing, and a chimp play laugh is a very heavy breathing. If they've got a cold, that will spread like wildfire through the entire group. So to keep their immune system strong, it's very important for us to make sure they've got all the vitamins and supplements to ward off the dreaded colds. It will literally just go through the entire group. And if they're not prepared for these sorts of things, we can end up with really ill, sick chimps. They don't have hankies and they don't have sleeves, so the snot just flies everywhere. They don't really stand a chance of not catching it. If it comes into the group, everybody's going to go down with it. And a group of sick chimps is not a happy group at all.
Hananya's troop are getting their daily vitamins and supplements to help bolster their immune system and keep them as fit and healthy as possible.
Good boy. Every day, all of our chimps get some cod liver oil, some evening primrose, extra vitamin C and a bonio as a reward for taking it. Just helps them keep in good shape. Vitamin C wards off the dreaded colds. Believe you me, chimp flu is far worse than any man flu that you'll ever get. We have to be careful as well, so if they do become ill, all of our keepers will wear face masks around them so they don't pass it on to us. And if we're ill with a cold, again, we wear face masks so we don't pass it on to them. They are so closely related to us that any illness that we can get, they can get. So we have to be very careful around our chimps when we're not well ourselves.
Some individuals have other ailments requiring specific treatment. Trudy has an ongoing back condition and needs a glucosamine supplement each day.
Trudy.
However, she'll only take it if it's been soaked in orange juice.
Good girl.
The daily routine runs like clockwork. Even young Thelma has learned to come in and take her medicine.
Good girl, Thelma. She's learning. She's like a little sponge. The way she soaks this behaviour up and watches closely what the adults are doing. She's a bright spark, and she's definitely a chip off Cherry's block.
Hananya's chimps, like all other apes at the park, have access inside and out all day. The houses are heated and filled with blankets and bedding to keep everyone warm and comfortable. But it's important they all go outside and have some fresh air too. So the first meal of the day is normally in the enclosure, allowing staff time to clean out the bedrooms.
The more that we can make sure these guys are fit and healthy and happy chimps, that keeps us happy and healthy as well. So it's very important for us, particularly in the winter months when they're not so active outside, to keep these guys, their minds working, their brains working, their bodies working, physically stretching themselves as well as mentally. It really is a vital, vital thing that they have to have.
It's been an eventful time for marmoset Ruby and her partner Oscar. 4 months ago, she gave birth, surprising everyone by delivering quads. Unfortunately, 2 of the babies didn't survive the first few weeks. But the remaining pair, a boy and a girl, are doing well. And with the warmer weather, have started to take their first steps into the outside enclosure.
It has taken them a good few weeks to pluck up the courage to go all the way down the tunnel and then enter the outside enclosure. But now they've found it, they love it. They're out there all the time. They're very, very active. Obviously, they're youngsters still. They're running around, really enjoying the outside enclosure now they know where it is.
The team have named the pair Merry and Pippin. Merry is the female and the more confident and adventurous of the two. Pippin, the male, is a little nervous, but is starting to follow his sister's lead. Their little and large parents, Ruby, one of the biggest marmosets at the park, and Oscar, one of the smallest, have coped remarkably well, considering both arrived from the pet trade with little knowledge of how to bring up a family.
Most of our animals come to us from the result of the UK pet trade, and most of them have been taken from their parents at a really young age, which is quite detrimental to any young animal, really. In the wild, marmosets and tamarin species will live with their pairs and then their small family groups, and the babies will stay with their parents for up to 5 years. That's a long time in a 15-year lifespan. It's a third of their life. And during that time, they live there because they want to learn, and they have to learn how to be a marmoset and also how to rear babies of their own in the future. So in the pet trade, when these babies are being taken away from their parents at less than 2 months old, it's damaging for them, it's psychologically damaging to these small animals. And that's one of the most difficult things I find with the rehabilitation process of marmosets. The physical side of things we can fix quite easily, but actually the psychological side of these animals being kept as pets is far more damaging than not getting the right vitamins, to be honest.
Merry and Pippin are fortunate their parents are always close by, and the foursome has become a tight-knit family unit. It's been a steep learning curve for Ruby and Oscar, but natural instinct has served them well, and the new family can look forward to many years together at the park. After a 5.5-hour journey from West Yorkshire, Alison has arrived back at Monkey World with a rescued female Capuchin. She's going to join one of the 5 groups already thriving at the park.
Good girl.
But until then, she's going to stay in one of the bedrooms, alongside Gizmo and his 4 ladies.
She's really well covered fur-wise over her top because there was like very little heat. There was a little bit of heat inside of the shed, but just one of those big like reptile bars.
Alison is unsure of the new Capuchin's age. The owner claimed to have had her for 37 years, but Alison is doubtful and estimates the monkey to be between 15 and 20 years old.
Come on, missus.
The team waste no time getting her out of the travel box and into the bedroom. She immediately checks out her surroundings and tucks into the fruit on offer. The noisy, nosy neighbours don't seem to faze her. She seems quite content.
Hi, you. I know. You're a good girl.
On the way back to the park, Alison received additional information about the monkey via the RSPCA.
Supposedly, they called her Chicken. The lady said when she first got her, she was like an oven-ready chicken in terms of having very little fur. So, most importantly, we've got little Chook here, I guess, until we decide on what to call her, back here to the park, and she's chattering away to the other Capuchins. Primate care staff will monitor her closely, we'll do fecal checks and start checking her over, and I'll probably arrange for a vet to come down and give her a health check, x-rays, that kind of thing. She weighs 3.08 kilo, because we weighed her in the box and then her out of the box on its own, so. Little lady, but yeah, tucking into strawberries and doing good in the warm. It's great.
Next time on Monkey Life, newly rescued Capuchin Chuck gets a medical checkup, and it seems her past life may have taken its toll.
I do believe we've got some bronchitis going on.
And Bart's group think extra-large ice lollies are pretty cool.